Hello, everybody. Tracy, Mrs. JDog Flanagan with you here today. I'm the co-founder and senior vice president of JDog Brands. Welcome back to another exciting episode of Tactical Treasures podcast powered by JDog and Vet TV. Our podcast gives veterans, male spouses, active military members, and military family members a voice in the veteran space to speak about their service, how they're affecting their communities post-service, and they share with me a tactical treasure that has helped them in their journey in their military career, business, or life. Today, I am so excited to have with me Ben Jalove. Ben Jalove served in the Marine Corps from 2011 to 2015 in Okinawa, Japan, the Southern Philippines, and the Asian Pacific as a transportation and recovery operator. After leaving service, Ben returned back home and attempted to be a member of the community again. He attended UTI in Illinois for both auto and diesel mechanics, where he graduated and got certified in both Detroit diesel and Freightliner brands. Ben started working in the industry, being a part of the local 701 union, and started a family. Ben began to struggle with PTSD and thoughts of suicide. He went through a number of VA programs to help fill what was lost during his time served without relief. In 2019, Ben found Brave Hearts, and that void was finally filled. He was touched by a horse named Hank. Ben believes that without Brave Hearts, he would not be here today. Being at Brave Hearts and with the horses has given him a new light in life, helping him grow as a father and a man. Ben became a PATH International Certified Therapeutic Riding Instructor and is now teaching fellow veterans how horses can change their lives too. What an incredible story. I love the connection between horses and veterans and their struggles. It's really amazing. I'm excited to talk to you today. So, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you.
So, what led you to join the Marine Corps? I understand that you have quite a legacy in your family history of service.
Yes, ma'am. Why the Marine Corps? Well, I can remember sitting in the Navy recruiter's office with my father, and the recruiter was telling me what I could do, and nothing struck the nerve of excitement. And then he started speaking about, well, if you want to crawl in dirt under barbed wire with a rucksack and carrying a gun, and I think you need to go across the hall. Lo and behold, the Marine Corps was right there. I got up and I said, "Thank you for your time," and went right in and started the process and through MEPS. And then 10 days later, I swore in and went in to Marine Corps boot camp in San Diego. Military has always been a big thing in my life. Family. My mom's dad was in the Korean War. He was a Marine. My dad's dad, he was a paratrooper in World War II. My oldest brother was in the Navy during 9/11. Aunts and uncles in the military too, all different war times from the Gulf War to the Vietnam. I was green from day one. My mom always said if there was a color that I was always in, it was green. I couldn't tell you a Halloween that I was not dressed in camouflage. So
Oh,
I think it was born and bred into my body and my blood and my soul, and I wanted to follow a dream that I've always wanted to do. And I remember like it was yesterday, my dad on the way to recruiter's office, he had said, "Well, son, if you're going to join the military, you got to make sure you join the best one." And I knew the best one was going to be the Marine Corps. It was going to test me the ways I wanted to be tested, and so I joined, and I gained a family, the world's largest gun club, and I got the glorious Eagle Globe and Anchor to show for it.
wow. Wow. So I know you had a lot of different experiences from your service, some not so good. But is there a particular part of your service that was especially impactful in a positive way for you?
So I would say yes. 100%. I mean, there's hundreds of different memories that are coming up in my mind right now about that was impactful. I've always been a man of service. I've always wanted to help. And being deployed to the Southern Philippines for a humanitarian aid mission alone that's serving, helping, seeing people in need, even though it wasn't considered a combat zone, but it was still a zone that needed help from a recovery aspect. My time in the Southern Philippines, thought I was just going to be there handing out water and helping them rebuild and clear roads and do what I could do with the job that I had in the military. But I, lo and behold, towards 10 days after I got attached to Marine Corps Special Forces for a recovery op in far, far southern port of the Philippines. But to be attached to those gentlemen and to support them, I got to see things that I didn't think I'd see or didn't think I'd witness. But it changed me not just for the better, but for the worse too. I
Sure.
feel that every instance or in situation or encounter that I always have, it makes me who I am. It's not at one point in time, I felt like it was the dark side of me, but I feel with everyone that has a dark side, that dark side always comes up, and it's up to that individual to show the lightness, the brightness about the dark side that they may, he or she may have witnessed. And I think that's what made me who I am.
Sure.
And
Sure.
the good part about it, I know I've talked to numerous veterans since I've been out, and they always say the good parts is about having a beer and eating a meal with a buddy of theirs and so on and so forth. But I think to me, it's that and the stuff that I've gone through.
Sure.
Not everyone can say I've been through a situation like that, or through a combat zone or been shot at. That's what makes me who I am.
Sure. Sure. Yeah. So, what was your transition like after 4 years of service and some difficult things in service? What was it like when you got out?
So right before I had gotten out, I had and I actually and got admitted into the Navy hospital in Camp Foster in Okinawa for thoughts of suicide, and I thought I was going to be discharged. Lo and behold, I recovered, and I finished out my time all
Great. Good for
honorably.
you.
And I said to myself, hey, if I'm going to be a member of the society, I might as well do something that I'm doing now. I was a motor transportation operator and a recovery specialist, so I worked hand in hand with the mechanics. I said, well, I'm doing that now. I might as well do that in the real world. So I carried over and went right back to school, put my head down, didn't worry about anything else. I was focused on doing what I needed to do, graduate and be a member of society, make a paycheck, and live. It kind of bit me in the rear end. Saw myself numerous times at the VA throughout the week, months. When I gotten out, I had a good, solid core family and their support to help me with everything I needed. Helping me out financially, putting a roof over my head, getting me on my feet, pushing me through school. Couldn't have done it without them. Obviously, the transition was rough, but in the end, I dug deep. The military taught me to keep my head down, keep my feet moving. And I think that's what got me through those few years after I transitioned to the point where I'm at now. On a scale 1 through 10, 10 being the best possible outcome, one being or zero being the worst, I'd have to say a five. There was ups and downs, but those ups and downs are what made me who I am.
Sure. So you finally found Braveheart Riding. What led you there?
Bravehearts is a nonprofit. They work with veterans and horses. I have a family friend that has seen me grow up from a little boy to the man I am now through church. That individual is a donor of Bravehearts and fundraises and donates his time and resources to what they do at Braveheart. He had spoke with my father, and I was going through a lot. Just started a new course through the VA for PTSD, and he said to my father, Andrew, I got this organization up in Northern Illinois. I think your son may be interested, and I think you should give him a shot. Well, my dad asked, hey, can I give you your information to them? I said, sure, why not? I'll try anything once. A couple weeks later, I had gotten a phone call from our president and COO, Megan Hill McQueenie, and she brought me up to the farm and put me in a round pen, about 30 feet by 30 feet, fenced in area, with a horse named Hank, a quarter horse. The story was kind of written from there. Before, I really never had a lot of horse related experience.
Sure.
I tinkered with them a little bit, neighbors hopping on them, and going from there, but nothing structured. So I was like, okay, yeah, I'll do it. Sure. Megan had put me in the round pen with a horse named Hank and told me to do a couple things. Again, not knowing anything too in depth about a horse. And while she was telling me to do exercises, jumping jacks, kick some sand, raise my voice, portraying my energy, what was coming off of me was making the horse react. And while she was telling me this, she was explaining what was happening. Horses move away from pressure. Horses see themselves in another being. So I was able to see myself, what I was doing in just the reactions of what Hank was doing in the arena. Lo and behold, it got to the point where then Megan told me to, take a deep breath. This was November, so it was a little bit chilly.
Right.
She's like, you good? You look a little nervous. My hands were shaking, and I was like, no, I'm okay. Just a natural reaction. She's like, I really want you to hone in, take a big deep breath. And she's like, all right, now I want you to take a knee. I was like, okay, I'm going to take a knee with a horse in an arena. This horse can run over me. A lot of thoughts going through my mind.
That's right.
I took a knee, and as soon as I took a knee, Hank was right behind me and started walking up behind me. And she's like, I want you to close your eyes and just listen to your heart. And as soon as I listened to my heart and closed my eyes again, I took a big deep breath. And Hank, his nose and his big deep breath put right on the back of my shoulder and sent shivers down my spine. And I always said at the VA when I was talking to therapists or groups is that I felt like something was lost and I needed to gain it back. I didn't know how. And from that moment, Hank had taken a big deep breath and sent shivers down my spine. I felt grounded. Even though I was in sand, I felt like I was there. I can see myself. I was in myself. I was there. I was present. I knew what was going on. And I stood up and I broke into tears and, I walked up to the gate and she's like, turn around. And who was right behind me? Hank.
Oh,
Hank was following me. I mean, like, it's a connection that you have with a horse is unwavering. I speak to vets all the time on a regular basis, but it's something that you've got to witness firsthand to be in the presence with a horse to see what they really can do. It saved me.
yeah.
At that very moment, I was a father for 30 days. My wife at the time had just given birth to our first daughter, and children were a really big trigger of mine. And I wanted nothing to do with kids. And I was always told, you hold your daughter or son the first time in the hospital. Nope, not me. I can tell you hands down. I'll tell my daughter to the day I die. I wasn't a father until I left Harvard, Illinois, with the encounter with Hank until I went home and I held my daughter for the first time. That's when I became a father. That's when I became a modeled citizen, the person that I wanted to be back in society because of a connection I had with a horse. I don't know if it was just something because I was able to see myself finally. Looking yourself in the mirror is something everyone does every day, brushing your teeth, getting dressed or whatever. But the reflection, you really don't see it. It's there, you mock yourself, but your energy and your presence doesn't do anything for you. But when you're with a horse, that horse tells you what you're doing wrong or what you're doing right. And that is what, I cavitated towards. I jumped into the deep end and I was like, give it to me, feed it. I want more. Um, so
Hello,
yes.
viewers and listeners. I would like to introduce you to the JDog Foundation, which is a 501c3 nonprofit dedicated to the prevention of veteran suicide and the healing of veterans' mental health. 100% of all proceeds received by the JDog Foundation goes directly to several foundations focused on the mission of saving veterans' lives. Each partner is hand selected by our executive director, Jerry Flanagan, with input from the assistant director, Tracy Flanagan, and the JDog Foundation board members. Our foundation's motto: saving lives, one veteran at a time. Go to jdogfoundation.org to take a look at everything that we're doing there and the organizations that we're partnered with. You can also donate, and there's also a support line if you're in need of help. Thanks. Check us out, jdogfoundation.org. What an incredible, incredible, touching story. Thank you so much for explaining the amazing relationship of you and Hank. How special. That's just incredible. You ate it so much, liked it so much that now you're a part of the organization. So you are a path certified, international certified therapeutic riding instructor, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, that's amazing. So, can you describe that role and the work that you are now doing with Brave Hearts?
Yes, ma'am. So I've been with Brave Hearts since 2019, but enrolled as a staff member a little bit more, probably about a year and a half now. And being a certified therapeutic riding instructor, I teach veterans and other individuals with different diagnoses how to ride a horse. I like to say it's healing horsemanship. You're learning a new skill, but at the same time, you're learning more about yourself. Myself and the rest of our staff, a good number of our staff are veterans and they're also certified. Megan, our president and COO, had given me the opportunity. Hey, your writing ability is drastically grown. You got something about you, your charisma. You want to be here. I want to put you through this certification. Would you be interested in teaching? And I said, oh yeah. I mean, let's do it. I dove, like I said earlier, I dove headfirst in the deep end and I ate it all up. And I was just asking for more. And there's a criteria, requirements, and it gave me a sense of purpose to go for it. I knew what horses did for me and what they continue to do for me, and that was just a step forward where I can make a difference in the veteran community and really show what they've done for me, but what they can do for other veterans like myself or not like myself. Going through that process was lengthy. It was hard. I'm not the best test taker. Multiple choice questions. I had to always go for the letter C. I had to study. I had to learn. But with all that, it gave me purpose. And I think the biggest thing that I've seen and I've noticed within myself is with no purpose, there's no drive. I have to have a purpose, and then that's given me the drive to move on. Right before this call, I actually just got off a meeting, and I just got asked and started the process to move up a level in the PATH International level of certified therapeutic riding instructors, and it's the next level. So I'm starting that process now, and it's going to make me a better individual, a better horseman, but also a better person to relate to and be able to bring more into our organization and help more individuals on a better and a deeper level. Without teaching, I would just be kind of getting vets in and telling them what they're doing. I'm our veteran services coordinator, so I run our veteran program, outreach, getting veterans in and bringing horses to different outings throughout northern Illinois, the local areas, Wisconsin, and so on and so forth. But yeah, I have a very big heart for this. It saved me, and I want to help as many people as possible, and see the horses and be around horses. They're just the best.
Yeah, they're amazing. They're like gentle giants. They're so huge, and the connection is just unreal, I'm sure. So I want to ask you one more question before we get on to your tactical treasure. Can you tell me about the Trail to Zero ride and specifically why the Normandy ride means so much to you?
Yes, ma'am. So Braveheart started a mission called Trail to Zero. It's to ride to end suicide through veterans. Back in 2018, statistics through the Veteran Affairs showed that it was 20 veterans committed suicide daily. A group of veterans and our president back in 2017 and early 2018, they decided to ride horses 20 miles, each mile for one of those veterans. And then they took it one step further from just a local trail ride from one location here in Harvard to our other location in Poplar Grove to a bigger aspect and ride in major cities, Chicago, New York, St. Louis, just to name a few. Past year in June, we actually had the opportunity to go abroad for the first year and to ride with our counterparts from England and France and ride 20 kilometers, 2 days, 1 kilometer ride each day, one through the city of Deauville in France, and then one on Utah Beach. I know personally that right there just showed that our mission is bigger than what it looks like. I could have been one of that statistic, and I could still be one of those statistics, one of those 20. But having the opportunity to ride a horse, which saved my life, 20 miles for those veterans that are no longer here. Some of those veterans, my buddies, my family, my brothers and sisters in arms, really resonates with me. And being able to be part of that ride in France this past summer had a bigger impact on myself because my grandfather fought on that solid ground. He could have been one of those statistics too. I mean, I remember growing up and my grandmother telling me about his stories. I remember even in boot camp getting letters from her telling me, hey, Papa Bino's, he may not be here, but he's here. He's watching you. He's looking over you. He's so proud of you. And when I started with Bravehearts doing these Trail to Zeros, I saw a light within my family. I knew it was not just for me, but it was also for them. I know the individuals in my family that were in the service have issues. They struggle, and though they could have been one of those statistics as well. And they see me raising awareness and riding along with other veterans that are doing this too, that have other connections to this mission, brightens up the aspect of our mission even more. And while we were over there in France, their veteran community, there's really no help. They don't have
Right.
a veteran affairs, even in England. So it was bringing light to them too. There's no statistics for them over there
Sure.
in that country. While we were over there, we met with other individuals. I met a gentleman from Spain. He expressed his condolences, and he wants to, getting involved and what he can do to help. It's making that picture even more. Yes, I know there's the 22-mile ruck march and all that stuff. This is just on top of that. Let's go more.
Right.
It's not, hey, this is the only one that's there to raise awareness for veteran suicide. Hey, we want to know, we want to get that number down to 0. We know horses help. We want everyone else to know, hey, a horse can help.
Yeah.
It's, out of the ordinary. Not every day you can be around a horse, but it helps. Even if
Yeah.
you come out once an hour, 10 minutes, it does a little something. And Trail to Zero alone is a big push within our community that we help serve. It continues to be a great advertisement for us, but not just to get veterans into our organization, but a great advertisement for the veteran community and the VA. I know ever since I've taken this role, these VA groups from Milwaukee and Chicago and Madison, just the local cities near us, wanting to get more and more involved and wanting to do more with Trail to Zero and that. So it's a big picture. Again, I don't want to take away from those loss of those individuals. That ride is for them, and we ride for them, and we want that number to come down to 0.
Right. Yeah. Great stuff. Do you still ride Hank?
As much as I can get on him. I mean,
Okay.
him and I are the same age. We're 31.
Oh,
So let me tell you, him and I are a lot alike. I may be 31, but I act like I'm 5 years old in my body. So same with him.
I
He's
know.
he's always rearing to go.
Oh,
So
that's great. I love it. So, okay. So now we come to your tactical treasure. What would you like to share with us today?
tactical treasure. Well, I know I got asked this a while back, and I can't remember what I had said. But I probably were going to have to say my tactical treasure is getting that phone call in 2019. Just
Yeah.
just being able to answer the call, to get a call personally from the president of Bravehearts, Megan, and have her invite me to come out. That alone was the turning point. I have to say, the tidal wave to change everything.
Right.
I said earlier, I said I'm a person of service. I always wanted to help, but didn't want to help myself. And to have a individual like Megan in society, the community, the horse world, the veteran world. She's not a veteran herself, but boy, I mean, I would take the Eagle Globe and Anchor off my hat and give it to her. I mean, like, that woman has done more for veterans than, I mean, I could ever dream of. Tactical treasure, I'd have to say the phone call and her alone.
Yeah.
You know, just speaking with her through a text message, you can just feel the connection. You know, she's willing to help. Help is a big, strong word. She always says to me, "I can only help so much, Ben." But the way that she helps, it's sky's the limit. I mean, I even think the sky's the limit, even beyond the sky. Seeing what she does, not just for myself, but the people around her, her family, you know, her work, the horses, people on the side of the road, you know, just being around her, you gain a sense of peace. You know, she's taught me a lot about myself. You know, relax. It doesn't have to be go, go, go. Be at peace. Grew up in the Catholic faith and was really religious and joined the military. And my religious was drinking a beer and, you know, going to sleep. But she's kind of brought that back, you know, and being at peace with myself and, you know, knowing that every day is a new day and it's not always a fight. She's really pushed me to be the person that I am and the person that I was raised by my mother and my father. And she's really shown me who I am. And I can't thank her enough for giving me the opportunity and the opportunities that she has given me, and even the future opportunity that she may give me. You know, I can only wish to be her when I get older. It's you know, I'm gonna kind of get choked up, but she's done so much. You know, words can only explain, but when you're around her, words don't explain. It's just her actions.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, everyone always says, "Oh, who's your role model?" I mean, I always used to say my father. Don't get me wrong, my father's still my role model, you know, to my heart. But I mean, right at this very moment, I mean, your guys' name says it all. Tactical treasure. I mean, Megan's my tactical treasure. She's my mentor, my person I look up to, my role model. It hurts when I do something wrong, and she's got to pull the boss card. But in the end, I'm like, yeah, you're right. You know, yeah, I messed up. Let me change my mind. Let me do it the right way. You know, definitely
That's
her,
great.
definitely a phone call.
That's wonderful. Well, that phone call saved your life, I'm sure. So,
Yes, ma'am.
that's a great treasure. Awesome treasure. Ben, before we leave our time today, what advice would you have for your fellow veterans that may be struggling with PTSD?
After giving you my tactical treasure, just answer the phone.
Into the phone.
It, it,
It could be Megan.
it's a phone call, text message, email, you know, Facebook post, Instagram, something on the radio. Do something for you. You know, that would be what I would say is do something for you and only you. You know yourself better than anyone else. Rather it's going out, you know, grooming a horse, going for a trail ride, going on a motorcycle, you know, going for a drive, you know, going to shoot a hoop, going to a shooting range, whatever. Drinking a beer. Not that I condone that. I'm sober, but you know, hey, if that's something that you're doing for you, do it. It's only going to make you sane, it's going to keep you sane, and it's going to keep you alive. Don't be afraid to ask for help. When you ask for help, it doesn't make you any of a less of a person. It just makes that person that you're asking for help know that you need it. That's what I would tell my fellow veteran or anyone that would need anything was don't be afraid to ask. Pick the phone, answer the call, shoot
Yeah.
a text message, reach out. That's the easiest way you can get what you need. Do something for yourself.
That's great advice. And I think oftentimes veterans are so used to serving their country, serving others that they forget to do something for themselves. So, I
100%
think
right.
that's
Yes,
great
ma'am.
advice. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's really great. Ben, thank you so much for coming on and sharing everything that you did. And I just love the Hank story. Oh my gosh. That horse saved your life with the whole program. I think it's just very touching, just amazing. And you guys are doing fabulous work there at Brave Hearts. And it's just been wonderful to speak with you. Thank you so much for your time.
Well, I appreciate your time and thank you for this opportunity.
Hello, viewers and listeners. Thank you so much for tuning into this episode of Tactical Treasures Podcast. We've just finished up a very touching and amazing conversation with Ben Jalove, who served in the Marine Corps from 2011 to 2015. After service, he struggled with PTSD and thoughts of suicide and found an incredible organization that has helped him called Brave Hearts Writing. So, since 2007, Bravehearts has been nationally recognized for providing equine assisted services to veterans primarily in the northern Illinois and southern Wisconsin areas and extends beyond the local community, serving veterans nationwide. As the largest equine assisted services program for veterans in the country, Bravehearts continues to strive to do more, reach more, and serve more. Their expansive, innovative recreational and therapy offerings provide veterans with multiple opportunities to experience healing horsemanship through riding, ground activities, and gentling wild mustangs with Operation Mustang. In addition, their outpatient clinic provides equine assisted psychotherapy, incorporating unmounted and mounted activities with a licensed social worker and/or psychologist who is on Brave Heart's mental health team. All services are offered at no cost to the veteran and one accompanying member of his or her family or caregiver. Brave Hearts partners with local VAs, veteran service organizations, and local programs with a veteran serving mission to provide innovative recreational services using horses. Veterans at Brave Hearts have reported benefits including increased self-esteem, self-worth, trust for others, and community integration, and decreased depression, anxiety, and PTSD attacks and self-inflicting thoughts. To find out more about their organization and all the offerings and programs there, and also to see more about their Trail to Zero ride, which is a ride 20 miles to raise awareness for veteran suicide happening in cities across the country, you can go to braveheartsriding.org. Thank you for tuning in, and don't forget you can find Tactical Treasures on all your streaming platforms, as well as Vet TV. We are now airing on Reese Across America Radio on Thursdays at 7 p.m. and Saturdays at 1 p.m. You can also find Reese Across America Radio on the iHeart Radio app, the Odyssey app, and the TuneIn app. Again, thanks for joining us, and we'll see you soon on another podcast. Bye-bye now.